This is basically what you have. You have a bunch of people, typically they're professing atheists, who are so intolerant. And when I mean so intolerant, they can't handle Christians having a discussion on something like church membership, Matt. I mean, last time that they did this, you were discussing Benny Hinn. And they're just so intolerant, they have to go in and go, oh, let's see how we can go in and boot everybody. And ruin the show. Just show, and really we just wanted to voice his frustration with the fact that he hates God, I guess.
Yeah. Well, they're just narrow-minded, intolerant bigots, and that's what it is. But it doesn't help them. It may give them a sense of accomplishment, but what it does for people like you and me is it emboldens us to work harder against the people who persecute us, because that's what it is, a persecution. And they don't realize to do that does not make us quit. It causes us to work harder.
Well, it also displays that they can't win in the realm of ideas.
Yeah, well, they're children, little boys, haven't grown up yet, whannies, crybabies, diaperinians. So Thaddeus is in the room. Thaddeus is good, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't see what it was who did it, but that's all right.
And now I lost the chat to see John. I was just about to add John, and he had a question about or a statement. He was thinking about the problems with church membership being specifically with with making people sign a doctrinal statement and things like that. So I'll try to ask you what he was going to say, and maybe he could listen or come back in. Oh, he's looking for the link. Hold on, let me get him the link. Give me 1 second here, and while I'm giving him the link, I'll just say, this is the issue that you have with children who really can't, and I have no other way to explain them other than children, because they can't have grown-up conversation, and they can't even handle letting other people have a conversation that has nothing to do with their views. Unfortunately, he, left before I was able to, to find out, what his beliefs were as far as his profile. But we'll see if he comes back in again. So, so do you see a problem, to the question John had asked in the earlier one? Do you see a problem with churches that make people sign doctrinal statements, that they agree or disagree in doctrinal statements to be a member?
Talking to me?
Yeah. I mean, do you think that's, we were talking about the dangers and problems that you could have in church membership. Do you think that could be a problem? Is that well, let me ask you, do you think that's good or bad for churches to say, to be a member, you have to sign a document saying that you agree or disagree with these points?
I think, I can't say universally it's good or bad. I'd say depending on context. You might have a situation in a particular country where if you don't sign a document, you could be sued and everything could be lost. And they might have to do something like that for legal reasons. I can see that that's a possibility. I don't know all the situations, so I wouldn't say that it's a universal yes or no. I'd say in different situations it's advantageous, and in different ones it's not. And so I don't see it as being biblically required in the context that I see it here in the United States, but I can see the advantages to it. So, if they want to do it, that's fine. If I were to start a church, I wouldn't have church membership, not classes, things like that. But I might have an affirmation class, or something like that, where here's the doctrines you go through, and you can just attend if you want or not. You know what we're about, things like that. But I could see it almost becoming necessary in our litigious society to have something like that. If I started a church, hypothetically, and 4 or 5 years later, we find out people want to start suing because of counseling issues. I might say, what, we got to move to church membership for legal reasons, for self-protection. So even though I don't like the idea, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So that's a thought.
All right. I'm going to add Trillin. I don't know if he has, if you had questions specific about church membership, since John didn't get back in.
No, not about church. I thought John would be in by now.
Yeah, I was hoping John would be in by now. But go ahead. We'll open it up to Q&A.
I mean, are you sure? Because I don't want to get you guys too off topic if that's
okay.
I don't care.
okay. Just gonna say because then you could have answered John's first, but okay. Yeah. So my thoughts were, what are your thoughts on like the Holy Grail? Like, do you think it's a holy relic of Jesus needs to be protected, or does it not really matter to you? Because some people put a lot of
the chalice that he drank out of.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's legit or not. I don't know if it's there. It's not a big deal. So I'm not exactly sure what the issue is. What was your question about it, though?
My question is if it was something that, like needed to be like guarded or whatnot, because some people say there might be some sort of power associated with it, Oh. Like, I don't know how familiar you are with the legend or the historical text, but there is some things out
No,
there.
I'm not. I'm not familiar with it.
Jones?
Well, basically, like, I guess just a basic rundown is like, like the King Arthur tale, right?
Yeah.
That was told like in the 1100s or whatnot. So like one of his homeboys, Sir Galahad, one of his knights of the Round Table, basically came like the homeboy to retrieve that thing. And so the thing with the cup goes is that I don't remember I don't think the exact powers of it or whatnot, but something that it was important to make sure it didn't like fall to the wrong hands. Some sort of like historical relic, kind of reminds me of like the Shroud of Turin and stuff like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't put any credence in it. The only thing that has any power is associated with it is speak.
Is it like just me or is he breaking up?
Yeah, I was thinking it was my computer because I'm on a different computer.
No. I feel you too. I wasn't sure. I'm gonna have to get him to repeat that.
Well, I was going to say, I think ultimately it's basically, not trying to be disrespectful to anybody.
Okay.
Why?
Matt,
I can't hear you.
Yeah, I think you're freezing up, and I thought it was me. Can you hear us at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Weird.
Something's going on. You were freezing up.
Well, now, okay.
Yeah, maybe just lower your bandwidth if you know how to do that.
Yeah.
That's the 4 bars up top.
There's like an icon at the top, and then you can adjust your bandwidth. That might help with the connection.
Okay, now though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's better.
We didn't get to hear the answer you gave. I'm sure it was brilliant.
Yeah.
Which is why
it was pretty cool.
Brilliant.
So give that again if you can.
Give what again?
What you had said, because we didn't hear the last 2 minutes of what you said.
I was going to say, there's no real value. So what? If you find
You're breaking up.
Oh,
dude. Matt,
man.
We had problems with your Wi-Fi last week too.
Let me do a speedtest.net thing.
Well, that'll kill it.
It'll just tell me what the speed is up and down. But yeah, we've had a little trouble recently, so I think it's on their end.
All right. Well, I'm gonna add John in, and hopefully, Matt, can you hear us? Okay.
Yeah, I hear you guys fine. No problem.
All right. I added John in. We'll get John to ask the question or make the statement he was making, and we'll see if we can dialogue with that. Maybe get back to the Holy Grail.
Yeah. Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, John.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just this. Let me just run a scenario by you that kind of will highlight my issue with this. My dad was a teacher. He taught a Sunday school in a pretty large church, and the church was dispensational. And so part of their membership, if you were going to be a teacher or even a member, you'd have to sign off on, you believed in the premillennial, pre-trib return of Christ, Now, my dad happened to be, in his studies, he came to be a post-tribber, which, I'm an Amil guy, so, there's not much difference to me, but, there certainly was enough to them where he had to actually step down from his teaching position because he held a post-trib view as opposed to the pre-trib, rapture view. So it's those are the kind of issues when membership is tied to, you have to agree with us down the line here. When, I can see where some, doctrines are, that's fine, the basics. But sometimes when they get into these tertiary details, I think it's a mistake. So that's what I'm bringing up.
I agree with you. Yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, they can deny you from teaching because you don't agree with exactly an exact set of doctrines that are debatable to begin with. Yeah, problematic.
I'm gonna agree with the position, but in a different sense. I think it's good to have that, so it is good to say, and many churches where I've been involved in writing the Constitution or the bylaws, I will have a doctrinal statement that is enough that anybody that we would say is orthodox and can teach can hold to, and then we might have some more specific things that we want people to have. But I think it's good to have a list of things to say, these things, if you're going to teach in this church, you must hold to certain things. I mean, I think it's good to say that there are certain things everyone must hold to, because you can, if you don't have that, you have someone get up and start teaching that God's not a Trinity.
Right.
And now you have no way of saying, well, you're not allowed to teach if you don't have that guideline. So the real issue there, John, that I would have with it is finding the right balance of detail. How much detail do we need to put to say, this must be mentioned and this is up for grabs? I mean, end time views, that's probably not something you're going to make an issue of. Deity of Christ.
Well, there is a website out there that has that information on it. What the essentials are and the adiaphora. Yeah,
it's like a chart, even like a doctrinal grid.
Yeah, hey, there you go. I should write something like that.
Hey, don't worry, it's already been written. You can just go to carm.org, search for doctrinal grid, Matt, and you know what? You could just take it and put it on your site.
Hey, why don't I do that? That'd be a good idea.
Actually, you know what? I think Bill McKeever should take it and put it on his site.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's a big inside joke a lot of people don't know about, but yeah. Yeah, well, it's there. But I agree. I think it's good. There should be a certain basic essentials that people have got to agree to. But if I were, like I said, starting a church, and people are going to teach a Bible study, they'd have to be interviewed first. Sorry, we got to interview you and make sure you're okay, and that would be it. If they pass, or pass. If they don't agree with pre-trib, like I'm post-trib rapture. And I'm on mill, and I believe the first ones gathered are the wicked, not the good. So that puts me a little bit whacked in some other by other views, but I can defend it in Scripture. But I'd say you agree with that, great. If you don't, that's fine too. You can still teach. It's not a problem. You have people who work with CARM who don't agree with everything that I say. That's fine too.
Yeah. We got some of the haters, Matt, in the YouTube channel who are saying that I'm fake. And complain that someone in the channel doesn't believe in freedom of speech after we've just got booted because someone on their side of the aisle that you didn't like us having an in-house discussion. Hey, I'm gonna.
So what's about we have freedom of speech? What?
I guess if someone disagrees with them, that denies their freedom of speech. Maybe they don't understand what freedom of speech is. By the way, I was going to invite folks in. There was a big flat Earth debate going on in the chat in the last hangout.
Yeah, flat Earth stuff.
So
waste of time.
I saw that James was in here, and James literally just got out of the hospital today. So the fact that he's in here, I don't know if James, are you here just listening in, or did you have a question for Matt? Like, how to get the best food poisoning at Zaxby's or something.
Yeah, if he could weigh in on that, that would be fantastic. If not, I can surely teach him.
Let me turn your volume up so we could hear you better. So you have a question or? Nope, he dropped out. I guess he didn't have a question. All right. We'll go. Actually, I should go back to Trill. Trill, were you done with your?
I didn't get to hear what Matt's response was, so
That's
I
right.
didn't get a chance to reply back if I agreed or not or what.
Well, about the chalice thing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
waste of time. Just don't look for it. Don't worry about it. How would you know if you found it? There's no way to prove it that I'm aware of. And even if it was, so what? Now what do? You say, hey, look, that's the cup that Jesus drank out of. Okay, do you go to a museum and you look at it? Okay, let's go get a pizza. And what are you going to do? Bow to it? What? What are you going to do?
Right, I get you. Yeah, that's an interesting thing. I just thought, because some people just kind of throw out the entire thing as just like I guess like non-legit, like legend is in fake or whatnot, but I don't necessarily look at legends exactly the same way. So I was wondering what your opinion was, but yeah, I get you. I feel you.
It's like
Much, what's the I mentioned earlier, the guy with the lasso from the movies.
Hey, we got some. Why don't you give me some admin control in the live chat, and I'll boot people.
Well, I don't have admin control in there, so.
How come you don't? You're the one who created the thing. You should go in there. You should be able to do that. And you click on my name, I think it is. You can give me admin or whatever. But there's some people in there that need to be just gotten rid of because they're childish.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So, yeah. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, he's someone that doesn't want to come in and so, all right. Meanwhile, Jordan dropped out. I was going to put him up. Cliff Jumper also dropped out. That's too bad. But yeah, I think that the Holy Grail is, when I think of it, I just think of Monty Python's Holy Grail. But you got to be kidding. So who was it? All right, well, there we go. I guess another the person who we think did it this time, Arian Fujila. So anyone know who that coward is? That's the coward that decided to boot everyone again. And he's just someone who can't handle discussion, debate, and just is well, this is the thing. This is just an example of atheism for you folks. Atheism can't win based on the merits of its ideas. It's something where they only feel that they can win the discussion when they shut down discussion. And the guys that they're complaining that we're the ones that deny freedom of speech. Here you have the example of people denying freedom of speech. What are they doing? They don't want anyone having a discussion because they want to censor any ideas that disagree or any people that disagree with them. And that is modern day atheism for you folks. Cowardice, keyboard warriors who don't have the guts to stand up on their convictions and state what it is that they believe and be willing to discuss it. They can't handle it. And so, anyone who knows this, Adrian Fiducia, let's see, it's spelled Figueroa. So here's the call out to you that you're a coward. You can't handle a discussion. And so we'll call out your cowardice because you can't handle it. So thanks. We'll probably start up another one.